What is up, guys? I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't know where this one was gonna end, but I can tell you where it did. Let me nope, 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 nope. Hey, all right, so we ended up doing a single plane intake on this to get rid of the intake that came on that RV motor. So you'll see me struggle with that twice. And we got a little creative and ended up doing a little classic aero style on the truck here. So stick around. Yeah, all right, so yeah, we did the intake, and then this cover and a little spoiler action on the rear. It came out pretty good. Obviously, there's some things I would change about this, and I'm sure you guys will figure it out as you kind of watch the video, but it came out pretty good. Can't complain. Has a hinge in the back so I can get to my fuel, and pretty heavy. Note to self, maybe go a little bit later next time. There won't be a next time for this one. But you guys can see the process in which how I did it, and in turn, if you decide to do something similar on yours, you'll have a couple takeaways on how to do it better. Because believe me, there's definitely better ways. So, stick around. I gotta end up shortening the throttle. Derp. Wife's calling. Let that cool off and grind it down, and yeah. Well, we're back down here. It took a couple days, had to, because the intake has an air leak to it. And you can see there's a little spot where the gasket must have torn. And then you start it up and it makes a whistling noise, like a choo-choo train coming down the track. And it's not supposed to do that. So, I'm gonna do the actual responsible thing. I've ordered a bunch of parts from 440 Source to include gaskets and new intake bolts and a bunch of other stuff to hopefully make that install a little bit easier. Now I'm gonna do some measurements and I'm gonna work on some other stuff. Plus, I've got something else for the truck that I think you guys are gonna appreciate. So, yeah, let's keep working on it. Alright, now that the rails are in, and I was able to get hardware, because I had to wait till the following morning to get hardware, I can finally start building the actual rails themselves on the box, outer box. I already have two already marked, but what I'm going to do is go through on this corner. I'm going to try to notch it and kind of roll it a little bit closer so I snug down this gap, because it's kind of big, and I don't really like that. So if I can get this a little bit better, I'll do some metalworking and see if I can get this to be snug with this line. Alright, rough frame done. The front still needed the back to the lines for the supports. However, not today. I'll measure it, make sure I have enough, so in case I need to order some I can. But I think I'm just going to do 2 vertical bars here, or going to the front. I think that's all I'm going to need to do. I don't know. But it is 4th of July, and I'm not spending my entire day down here, especially since I have to work in about 5 hours. Alright, so I'll pick this back up when I probably have a chance. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. All right, it is a new day. I can only come down here and work on this every few hours throughout the day if I'm lucky, so got a couple hours today, a couple more hours of work. See if I can get this tail or the cover just a little bit closer to being complete. We'll see. Don't know how I want to secure it yet. We'll figure it out. I don't know. Yeah. We're gonna have to put a piece of angle iron here, or maybe a little section of that square tubing, just to make a corner brace. And I say that because that's where my hood pin's gonna have to mount. Being on the very back, it's too close to the tailgate, and I'm not gonna be able to make a bracket that can actually go all the way up and then make a good mounting point. So I think what I'll have to do is just make a corner piece, and I'll use that as my structure. Try that. All right, another day. Between some pretty gnarly heat exhaustion and being extremely tired, we got the bed cover done. Done. Let's check it out. So we got done with it technically yesterday morning, super early, maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. Wanted to give it time to kind of cure and let that spray paint kind of set up a little bit that we sprayed on there. And then now I'm going to go through and actually try to sand some of it down and make it look a little bit more aged and everything else. But of course it rains, so it's dirty. So it is what it is. It's fine. Let's put out the DA sander and let's put some grit to it so I can hopefully try to get it to age and look a little bit better, kind of matching the bed. So we'll try it. Working for a little bit here. What we're doing is I'm really focusing on this edge and trying to knock down this paint so I can actually rust this to kind of match the bed rust. Hopefully it makes it look a little bit more fluid from going from the actual bed to the made bed cover. As I'm going in here though, everything up here is just light pressure. I'm not necessarily worried about trying to punch through the paint. All I'm trying to do is get a lot more of the red off so I can kind of make it seem almost sun faded in areas. So I can come back through and add some little bit of rust if I hit the metal, and if not, it'll have that white showing through like it is down here. Hence that really basic white coat that we initially put down for the paint primer. So I'm gonna be working on this for a while. You guys can have the joys of YouTube editing and see me in about another 10 seconds after about 3 more hours of work. Alright, so that's pretty good. I'm pretty sure when I did the front splitter, I'd already showed you this trick, but just in case, this is what we're going to use to essentially create almost immediate flash rust. Get yourself some salt, some distilled vinegar, some hydrogen peroxide. Pretty simple. You're going to make this lovely concoction with a spray bottle, which I just happen to have here. You know, you just kind of figure it out. There's no science to it. I'm sure there is, but I don't know it. But you know, you just come in here and you... So, you know, let's do some parts here. I don't know. Let's do like... I'm gonna throw a lot on here. I'm gonna wash it off a little bit later, but let's do, I don't know, 6 ounces of hydrogen peroxide? Sure. Alright, let's do I don't know, 6 ounces of distilled vinegar? Sure. Look at this, huh? Okay, never mind. I had it. You saw it. And then salt. Sure. All right, let's put this cap on. Give it a little shaky shake. Let's go spray it on. Oh, by the way, keep the salt close. I'll show you why. Now for this, all you're going to do is legitimately just spray it on. Let's make this more of a mist. Kind of mist it on. I want to point out, it's already rusting. That's literally how fast this works. Now, why did I tell you to keep the salt? Because if there's certain areas that you want more rusted, rub some salt, leave some salt on it. So like this over here, I want rust. I'm going to put a whole bunch of salt along this edge. Should probably tape that or something. Hold on. I don't have any tape. What I do got is this here dustpan. And just that fast, it rusted. Should probably clean that up. So this is only after a few minutes, and I kind of wiped down some of the extra that was just kind of sitting, just kind of see how fast it was working. And one thing I am noticing is that if it's in the sun, it works dramatically faster. So I'm gonna clean up in here real quick, just get the door closed, get this back to the house and spray it down so it can sit in the street and just do its thing, and then I can just wash it off. Since I don't have running water here, it makes it a little hard to clean up and wash everything off. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll see you in a bit. So I am off to see if I can get this thing washed and cleaned up a little bit because, well, it needs it. Kind of been abused and sitting out for the last I don't know how long. So that's what we're gonna go do. Get to the car wash quick. Give it a quick rinse. See how it cleans up. Probably 300 pounds of steel in the back. So, let's see what we got. First one I went to was cash only. Thought I brought cash. I didn't. Second one I went to doesn't accept cards. This one does. So, all right. Let's try to get this cleaned up a little bit. I mean, I'm not expecting much here. Just a little. Let me just turn on my speaker here. It's gonna be good enough. It's not perfect. It's all right. It's just getting pretty warm out. I think I'm gonna be done for that. So let's see how she looks. In a minute here, once I can cue up my music. All right, let's go. Gonna wrap it up. I have to now get rid of everything that's in here, unpack, and start editing this so I can hopefully get this out today. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I gotta get out of this truck before it gets too hot because it's desert heat right now, and honestly, it's not really that forgiving. This truck isn't bad as long as it, you know, stays underneath like 95, which is a little hard to do in the desert. But overall, I think that the cover came out good. I did notice that at a little bit higher speeds, the splitter does flex a little bit. Oh, that's probably why. That's not good. All right, one more thing to fix. All right, as always, if you guys like the content, please feel free to hit like, hit subscribe, that little notification bell. Well, you can even look back and see all the frustrations that this truck has given me up to this point. Putting in the airbag system, the Mustang 2 front end kit, Ford Link, just a lot. Just a lot. So, always appreciate the support, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. I fixed it, I think. I really should put a lock washer on this though. But you know what? I should really put a lock washer on this. I know I should, but I'm not going to because I'm an idiot. All right. I wonder why this one loosened up. The other one's didn't. Oh, the other ones were. Alright. Alright, good deal. I'll leave my recovery tool back here. Yeah. Man, still. Still really loose. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like that. I may have to modify this splitter a little bit and maybe add some rigidity to it in some way. Okay. Now I'm done. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, if you want to support the channel, get yourself a sweet swept line shirt or a Charger shirt, both of which hide-rev-nation.com. Alright, let's get this thing edited so you guys can actually see it.